So I'm walking into the art market in Maidstone, and we have here about probably 60 artists all exhibiting, setting up their stall. It's 8:25, and the market is starting in half an hour, so everything is getting ready. So I'm going around a little bit to get into the atmosphere. So are you all set up?
Almost.
Almost. It looks good to me.
Last little bits to do. I should have bought some more plinth.
Yeah, you're happy with that?
Yeah.
So what time did you arrive here then?
5 to 6.
5 to 6?
Early.
Were you the first
Boo
one?
got up at 3:17 in order to be here on time. She had to walk her dogs before she came.
So Boo, you're really dedicated, aren't you?
Something like that.
We're still negotiating commission.
Charlie! So how do you feel now, Charlie?
Still nervous.
But you're happy with your stall?
Yes,
With
very.
everything in place?
Yes.
So what have you got there?
I've got my red wood painting, which is an oil on canvas from darkness to red, and that was my first one I've done. And I've got my glass vessels, uprights, feather in love, which is a turquoise dish with a feather inside, which is hand painted. Hand painted Buddha picture.
Well, hello, Brian. Tell me about what you're showing here.
It's a mixture. The boat pictures are very early, where I was sort of intent on doing quite a lot of detail, and over the time it's kind of loosened up to more sort of making things represent pictures rather than what they actually are.
And you use the texture differently, don't you?
That one there, that's actually on muslin. And I've stretched it myself. The others are bought canvases. I don't put too much sort of gesso or anything like that on the canvas because I like the texture of it. That one there is actually a photograph and a distant memory of somewhere in Devon. That one is where we used to live in Thamesmead. That one is just off my head.
Now, Linda, tell me about your dolls.
Well, they're not for tiny fingers because they're actually art dolls, so they're for adult collectors really. Some are assemblage, which is, as you know, bits, found things just put together.
Yep.
The majority here are comfort dolls, which means that they hold crystals. They usually talk to people.
Yeah.
Not literally, but somebody will see one and they have a connection. Well, these dolls have actually got like secret pockets about them where you can put your wishes, your dreams, your prayers. So I'm not a witch.
Not a witch. So we know. And that's bust here.
Yes, torso art. It's got a kind of a theme towards, it's breast awareness. So one of her breasts is actually lace, sort of as a significance to losing something and how fragile life can be. So that's the actual essence of that particular piece. And she's fabric and tissue paper. Which takes ages because the layering process, as you know, takes a long time to dry. That was actually a mannequin that hangs on a fashion wall because fashion is my thing too. And I cast her, covered her in cling film, then started with fabric, then the tissue, and then the painting.
It's very womanly, very feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like me.
Like you. So, Bev, I can see you're all set up.
I'm working on a pair of ballet shoes at the moment.
Ballet shoes?
Ballet shoes, yeah. It's my client's daughter's first pair of proper point ballet shoes, so it's significant to the owner. This is it's a photographic print on glass.
Is it?
And I'm collaborating with the artist, actually, with a view to how to present them. And that's switched off, and that is switched on. The light is actually quite good in here, so it's not quite so obvious, which is a shame. But in a hallway or a room with not terribly much light, it's really effective. So that was a prototype, something that I'm working with the photographer. That's an example of an image. That's the way that I would present it, and the same image the way other framers might present it.
Right,
so
okay.
that's my approach to that image. My approach is to bring out the best in the image. The mainstay of the image is obviously the sunset. So I take colours and textures out of the image and work with those to throw forward the subject of the image. The whole purpose for me of the mount and the frame is that they present the work. If the viewer sees the mount or sees the frame first, I've failed.
I'm showing my sort of collage type painterly work. I don't know how it doesn't sit in either section really. It's not a collage and it's not a straightforward painting either. So
well, it's a mixed media collage.
Mixed media collage.
You
like
could
that,
say.
you see. Very
Yeah.
eloquent there.
And that's your Guardian painting.
It
so
is.
there is a story about that
Yes,
one. Would you
yes,
like to tell me?
yes. We went to that got entered. I went to the Sea Art Fair with you and a group of others from the Kent Creative Live group, and I got shortlisted for Outstanding Artist. I was so thrilled. I was shaking, wasn't I, when I found out. I'm also showing some other collages. I'm also showing a sculpture, because I do sculpture on the odd occasion. And this is a sculpture. It's sort of based around like a mermaid quality, seasidey, with the fish coming round it. The fish is dried. Fish is a proper fish. It was called Nails. No, he doesn't smell. It was my grandson's tank fish, and he's huge, as you can see.
It is huge.
I mean, he was about 20 years old, bless him, and he died. And my grandson knows that I work with bones and dead things as well. So he phoned me up and he said, "Nan, would you like to have nails?" So I said, "Oh, yes, please." So I went and picked him up. And I took him back and I put him in a box and put him under my studio and forgot about him. And about a year later, I thought, "What's that box?" And I opened it up, and that's Nails. And he's mummified completely. He's got his little mouth, and except for his eyes missing, he's all intact. Well, all the bits have dried up, of course. But he doesn't smell, and he's solid. You can hold him in your hand.
You have a fan. Somebody's taking a picture of Laurie's work. Oh, I'll go round.
Like photography,
I'll
and it's
go.
embroidery. It's
Is
amazing. Yeah, you got to get.
Where
it
is
really
it? I'll
does.
go around.
She's a couple. The back. You can see the back.
Oh, right, I'll go and have a look
It's
now.
stunning.
Now, you see, you're interested in each other's work.
Yeah, for sure.
Post you on social media.
Yeah, please do.
Big
yeah.
you up.
Yeah, no, please do. I think I'll have to come around and do you as well. I was just telling Natalie that your stuff looks like photography,
They're drawn onto fabric, so you get this three-dimensional quality because it fluffs up the surface of the fabric as I draw onto it. So I take the photograph and then I use a light box to draw. So I make a drawing first in watercolour pencil, and then I draw again with the sewing. So this part from here down is all embroidered. The birds are drawn, and the embroidery is all these parts in the water and the beach.
Discovered something new.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit about the Swell Arts Forum.
We're a community group. We're voluntary. We have theatre, we have singers, we have textile artists, we have painters, we have mural artists. It's a diverse group of people that connect together and work together to become more of an image. So we have like our pop-up shop in Sittingbourne at the moment, and we do events as well, and just try and push art all over, really.
It tells the story for me, because in my mind's eye, these are created if the right things come together. When they fall out of the cliffs and they come out of the beach, and then they have to extract themselves from the clay. So he's still pulling himself out. He isn't fully formed yet. He needs to find the other things to create the back leg to push himself out.
And you can feel a bit of fear even in there.
Good, I hope so.
So it's definitely expressive, that.
And this is really, really rare, because these are formed by things coming together to create the beast, the creature. This one is going to be second generation, because look, he has an egg.
He's got an egg. Is that the first time?
It's the first egg from cliff creatures ever.
So something will come out of that.
Exactly.
Probably.
But what would it be? It's going to be a mystery when the egg hatches.
I've got a selection of prints, A3 size prints of some of my personal favourite works, and postcard size prints of the same ones. So this particular piece, which contains several bits of photography, the images I selected for it are deliberately unrelated, really. There's nothing in particular you'd associate with them. And then the abstract work is basically exploring the space and relationship and overall form of things that may seemingly be unrelated. This summer in particular, I've been doing event decor, and all along the same lines of using the same kind of abstract style that I've refined, but applying it through different output. It's important to always have time to do something a bit wacky and outrageous, like just to test yourself, stretch your limits a bit, and do something that's not typical of you, you know. So I think always, even if it's just a small portion, like half an hour at a random point every fortnight, to nothing too ambitious like brain surgery or anything like that. It's good to just ask the question, what if I could do insert whatever here, you know, and then have a crack at that.
So what have you tried recently like that you were happy with?
Notably this year, portraiture actually. I hadn't really done... I did a painting for the previous NPC, and that was kind of just a indulgence thing, but from that I've done another one a few weeks ago, using oils, and I haven't used oil paints for nearly a decade or done anything portraiture related, but that surprised me incredibly. Maybe because it was somewhat of a detour of what I've been doing a lot of recently, but I took to it a lot more than I thought I would, and reached the standard a lot higher than I expected in a short period of time. I think a lot of that is maybe just due to fixating on one thing for a while and then fluctuating between things, you know. Taps into something, I think, within where you don't think too much. Thinking is the enemy, I think.
Just trying to find the other one, because I've messed all my phone up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the driftwood. Oh, nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
and stone, and that was a piece of cork I found on there.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
And
So do you sell these? Do you put them out anywhere? Or?
Well, I don't know where to do it at the moment.
Yeah.
Because
that was the other two.
Well,
it's just finding an outlet.
Wicked. Oh, they're nice. There's an element of what you've got really nice going on in there. There's an element of slickness.
Yes.
As well as, you know, it's that nice combination of found materials.
Yeah.
And a sharp slickness about them as well.
Well, I don't really like anything thrown away. I'd rather sort of...
Yeah, you've got a workshop like mine that's piled up.
Yeah, give it another...
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's gorgeous. Oh, that's lovely.
This is really nice.
And what's really nice about that is it's a commercial piece. People will want to buy it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it don't look to me like you've come at it from a commercial angle.
No,
You found them things, they're lovely, you
Yeah,
put them together,
yeah.
it just
Oh,
happens
yeah.
to have made a commercial.
Yeah, well, I spend
commercial
most of the
piece.
time looking at things
Yeah.
before I.
That's a shelf
You know,
that you made for home.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, they're lovely. They're really nice.
Yeah, that's just driftwoods.
And is that in your home? You're using
Yes,
it for yourself?
yes,
all
yes.
of that?
One of the
Well,
things
you're-
I say
you're-
is people are really interested in where you found those things. So if you found them, if you found that piece of driftwood on Whitstable Beach,
But mainly where I do find them.
actually make a little note of that when you
Yeah.
when you put your piece out, because people are really interested
Yeah.
in where those things came from.
Yeah.
And it opens up the market. It sucks people in that live in Whitstable, and they go, "Oh, I quite like that." It comes from Whitstable Beach, And
Well, I keep looking at it. I don't know quite what I want to do with it yet. But
Oh,
I've
they're
got
gorgeous
a big
and
lump of
really
wood
lovely.
From Hastings Pier when it caught fire, and they
wow.
tore it all apart.
Ooh,
And
you're
I've
saving that.
It's something I've got to really think about what I want to do with that.
Yeah.
I've always been very practical, but I like artistic things as well, trying to create things. One of the things I'm quite proud of, that candle box. Well, I did 2 candle boxes for your sister, didn't I? Yeah, I've done it. I'm really proud of it, and I want it somewhere where.
Yeah, it's going to be seen,
Oh
and not
yeah,
just
it's not just sort of hidden away in somebody's house.
yeah. I want all of them already, so they're going to sell when you get them out. Be ready.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself.
Something that smiles on the glossy cover of Arizona highways, something that drives a stolen thunderbird across the red Martian waste of the New Mexico Badlands, something that runs over a road runner. Beep, beep now, you little bastard. I said beep, beep now. Like a klutz, the night stumbles down back streets, a Jekyll in an immigrant hat and a sack full of stars over his shoulder.
What I've chosen to show at the art market today in Maidstone is my floral work, and what they are real fresh flowers that have been dipped in slip and then fired, and they become almost like a fossil because it burns off the flower, but you still get the traces of the petal. Where you have the striations of on the petal, they are they're left on the actual ceramic, and then I glaze them, I colour them, some of them to a more traditional, the original flower, some of them a bit more out there, and then I put lustre on them, because the whole point of putting a coat of mother of pearl lustre is they catch the light beautifully then. Tulips are stunning because they're such a waxy flower, and because they're a tight shape, they hold their shape really well in slip. It also depends on what type of slip you use, with which kind of flower you use. So it's been an interesting path finding out what works. I've just discovered an amazing wholesalers in Ashford, which is where I got all this amazing foliage from, and they were fascinated. They were really interested, really supportive, really helpful. When I said what kind of petals work best, they were helping me, showing me what might work for further research. And
what else could you try with the same process, you think?
I do know that there is another ceramicist who actually dips dead animals. She does mice and birds.
Really?
Yeah, and she fires them off. And then you're left with basically almost a skeleton of the creature.
Yeah.
Something for everyone.
I happen to know that you use credit cards to make your painting. Can you tell me the story about that?
Yes, certainly. Yes, I use credit cards to paint because I was painting a cityscape and I was doing a straight line. However, I was using a ruler and the paint was going behind the ruler and it was getting a real mess. And basically I put the ruler down, wasn't happy, and I just paid a bill and there was a credit card sitting next to me, and I saw like the dotted lines, sort of, oh, the edge of a credit card, and I did it very, very gently, put the paint on the edge of the credit card, and I had a perfect straight line with it. Was able to draw, pull down a straight line, and that was it. It was like a eureka moment. So from then onwards, I always use a credit card, and I get beautiful straight lines down my pieces of work now. I recently cleared out my mum's house, and there was about 15 there going back to 1980, and so I had my own tools suddenly arrive. So yeah, that's how I do it, and that's how the story has gone. And I really enjoy working with the credit cards. I mainly work with straight lines.
So Ruth, I see you pretty much everywhere. You're really proactive, aren't you?
I'm very proactive, yes, because I suppose I just see it as all I want to do is make my own work, but then, you know, I need to sell it as well so I can make some more. So, you know, I will take every opportunity I can to market myself. In fact, a couple have just bought 2 pieces off me because they saw that I was at the art market.
You have a theme that comes a lot. It's the area near where you live.
Yes, I live in the middle of a wood and in the middle of the country, so really the country on the whole is my inspiration, plus the sea. I love to go and feel the wind on my face. I print at Whitstable, so I go to the seaside very regularly, and I like a stormy sea, and I like the middle of a wood at night.
Well, that's why the moon comes back a lot in your work.
That's right, yes. So I follow the moon religiously, so I always know when it's going to be a full moon, and I always go for a walk when it's a full moon, and then that's often the inspiration for my work.
Are you preparing something for the memory exhibition?
Yes, I am. Oh. I am, if I remember.
It's going to be
yes,
sold
no,
again,
I am definitely going to prepare something. I'm in the middle of it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hi Natalie.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Are you happy? There is a really good turnout.
It's amazing. People are just flooding through because we're volunteer run, even though we're cooperative. But in order to keep doing events, we need to keep bringing a revenue in. And one of the directors, Ali Farmer, I'd always wanted to do an art fair in Maidstone. So this was his idea, and he's project managed it, and he's pulled it off. It's great. He was very good on everything from the call-outs to selecting work to liaising with the venue and the performers and ensure, you know, the whole gamut what goes on with putting something like this on. It's a massive achievement. Yeah, really, really pleased with the kind of quality of the work and the range of prices. You know, yeah.
And a lot of familiar faces.
Yes.
Nice. And new faces.
Yes, a lot of new faces, but like you say, a lot of familiar faces from Kent-wide, really. And then, of course, the charity auction, which is a big part of it. We've had some artworks donated by Ralph Steadman, Billy Childish, Gavin Turk, which will be auctioned off at 3 o'clock, and the proceeds go to the Foundling Museum and Mind.
Is there going to be another one next year?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, definitely. What am I talking about? I hope so. Yes, there will be another one. And even just thinking perhaps they should be more frequent than annual.
Why not?
You know, but we'll see.
Maybe outside Maidstone as well?
Or? Oh, yeah. I mean, we'd love to do some really key events here because obviously we're Maidstone based, but definitely hope for taking it broader, wider. Great.
How did it come about?
Well, I've always wanted to do something big in Maidstone. We've got nothing here. We need to draw people into Maidstone again. It needs to be a destination like it used to be in terms of the arts. And also it's the county town of Kent, so why shouldn't it be here? Do you know what I mean? It should be the central hub of vibrant art scene. And then obviously we were kind of wanting something to help making artwork grow and develop, and I kind of suggested that we do some kind of art fair, and so we were looking at kind of the Maidstone history, and the agricultural market and auction have always been kind of something big, so we kind of used that as a kind of a springboard, and we looked at kind of the art car boot fair. A lot of people have come up to me and said, I'm really thankful for this opportunity because it's really made me think about the way I display my work, the way I approach selling myself, the way that I make work. So some people have made work specifically for this kind of event, so it's great.
So are you an artist yourself?
Yeah, so I've not done any new work for some time now because I've been tied up with curatorial projects and organising, especially this. It's kind of taken over a year of my life. But I studied photography and I've kind of gone into a bit of taxidermy at the moment, so working with taxidermy. Yeah, my ducks.
you have your stuff there then?
The Drunken Duck. So
the Drunken Duck.
Yeah, originally this piece was made for a site-specific project that we did, where we were making work in response to the idea of the pub. So I was looking at how pubs get their name, and there's an old kind of tale about how this pub, the Drunken Duck, got its name. The landlady found all her her ducks presumably dead in the courtyard, so she plucked them all, and then when she had plucked them, they started coming back to life. So they went out into the yard and found that a cask of beer had split open into their water, so that's where they got the Drunken Ducks. And then she made them the little jackets because she felt bad about taking all their feathers away. And it was also a kind of look at the social stigma of people boozing too much, and kind of the Brits have got this stigma that they're kind of yobs and that they drink too much. So it's a kind of sticking their tongue out at those people that kind of brand us like that. So yeah, people come up and then they're like looking for a while. They're not too sure if they're real ducks or not. Some people find out that they're real and they run. Some people love it and they're just like, oh, that's so fascinating. One person went, oh, I'm going to steal that and I'm going to eat that. Angela, the lady with the tea tent, me and her have been working on a few, mainly birds. So we started an owl, jackdaws, chicks. We're doing a workshop at the Maidstone Museum. We're doing a workshop there in December where people get the chance to taxidermy either a chick or a canary or a small bird.
And it's quite trendy.
Yeah, no, it's really, especially since like the beginning of the 2000s, and I think it's because of the different ways that it's been presented. So like Polly Morgan, these artists that are using taxidermy in new and fun ways, it's really boomed, and it's being introduced again back into fashion, into interior design. People are getting their pets stuffed again. It's come full circle from like the Victorian era where it was just as popular. There's more, or just as many internships and apprenticeships and workshops and people taking courses as there is now as there was in the Victorian time. A lot of the taxidermy years ago was more hunting trophies. So now it's become more of an artistic thing, an artistic medium, I guess. I've already started thinking about my next project after this. So me, Angela and Fleur are going to hopefully curate an exhibition looking at kind of how our relationship with animals has changed over the years. So we're going to invite other artists to exhibit pieces, and we're going to hopefully curate an exhibition around that. So.
Brilliant. You let me know about that.
I will.
No, It's very nice to have you here to run the auction.
Well, I was really happy to do it because I was asked by one of the organisers, who I've actually known for a very long time, Liz Dudley, and it's for a really good cause. I mean, as you know, I'm an art dealer as well as other items, but I particularly love art, and I think promoting local artists is such a good thing, and it's been such a good turnout that I just hope it carries on for many, many years. And I'll be auctioning, there's about 20 different pieces of art that have been donated, and all the profits go to mine and the Foundling Museum. I think it's a really good event, and the turnout today has been absolutely amazing. It's great to see.
And it's a first as well, which is even more impressive.
Exactly, because normally, you know, the first one, not a lot of people get to hear about it, and they start off slowly. So to have so many people at their first event shows, one, a really good committee, two, fantastic marketing, and three, great support by local artists.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you very much for doing that.
My pleasure. Once, going twice. Are we all done? At £100. Sold £100. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the auction of the 20 lots. Well done. I think that's not bad at all. And as I said earlier, let's hope this continues for many, many years. Thank you.